Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. I've got this pretty paper I'm going to use today for a shaker card. This is called Everyday Skies. It came out a month or so ago. A lot of people missed it because it was an online exclusive, but I'm telling you, if you have any stamps that have airplanes or hot air balloons or birds, anything up in the sky, this paper is so pretty. It's 6 by 6 already and it's 48 sheets, so you get 4 of each of these 12 designs, and it's everything from bright and happy and colorful all the way to dark and stormy. So you kind of have a whole, look how pretty that is. I'm using this one. Look how pretty for cosmic things. Look, it's just so pretty. I love this paper. And then, of course, if you're not a cloud person, then the back has all sorts of different patterns, sort of like tone-on-tone type things on the back side. But really, this paper is so pretty. Also, there's some new things coming out on March 4th, and I have a few of them to show you. So stay tuned after the project to see those. So I had a friend that got into med school. Actually, her son did. And so this was the one that I did for him. And I'm going to do something a little different for somebody else who a daughter is possibly going to get into vet school. So I want to have a card ready for her. But just a real fun, happy, fairly easy shaker card. So I haven't made this one yet, but in my mind, it looks great. So we're going to give it a go. I'm starting with Berry Burst on this one. And I cut that paper to 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now, you do not have to layer this behind this with something. You can cut your window in it and just put it on there. But I find it gets a little wavy over time. It gets a little, it's a little thin, right? The designer paper. So you can layer it with white or something else. I'm doing the same Berry Burst. So like underneath it, it'll kind of look a little more uniform. So these two pieces get glued together for stability there. And then I'm going to use the arches on this one. The arch dies, my favorite dies of this year, of 2025. I just love these dies. Of course, there's some new ones coming out that might rival this. I'll show them to you. They're pretty awesome. So you're just going to run that through. You want to glue this together though, like tape it together, and make sure you get the middle also, because we're going to be using this middle piece. So we'll run that through the die cutting machine, and then you have this right here. So before we put all this together, we want to stamp this, and I'm going to use the Everyday Arches, and I'm going to use this Reach for the Stars for her on this particular card. Now, there is another stamp set coming that matches these arches, and it's called Arched Wishes, and it's got, it will, you know, cheers to another year of you, which I love that sentiment. Happy birthday, make a wish. There aren't dies because this matches all of the arches, but what's interesting is this one is photopolymer, and this one is the rubber, which I really like it in photopolymer when you have to line something up. But I got it anyway. I'll do it. But I wonder why it wasn't in photopolymer, or if on March 4th they're going to offer it in both. I hope so, but we'll see. And the pre-order, that's what I got. All right, I'm going to do navy ink. We're going to do the Reach for the Stars. Now, this little photopolymer matches up with the curve. It actually matches a smaller one, but I'm going to bring it in a little and make it so it kind of comes right inside here. So when you're doing anything curved like this and you're mounting it on your block, don't do this because you can mess with the curve. Throw it down like that and then put your block on top. And then you know that it's right where it needs to be. Kind of look at it. Yep, that looks good. And this is where we're going to stamp it. Our pads are always so juicy, so little baby taps. Raise your pinky when you inky so that you do it very lightly. And we're going to put it right here and hope. Yeah, nice. Okay, Reach for the Stars. So I'm not going to do any other stamping. However, what we want to do before we add the window is we want to kind of figure out where this is going to go. You can even just tack it down just a little teeny bit, just enough to hold it down. You got to be able to bring it back up again because we have to put our window there. And this one is going to go behind the shaker. So it's going to go in here like that, and then take this off. Okay. Now for the shaker part. And this particular one, because the sentiment's back here and you're not trying to line anything up, it's going to be fairly easy to line up. I don't have to use 2 sheets of the acetate. I only have to use 1. So this is a pretty easy shaker. First thing we're going to do is add our window sheet. Now this size is the window sheet, the clear acetate, is only 3 by 4 inches, which is great because it comes 12 by 12. This one required quite a bit more. I think it was like 3 3/4 by 5 because this is such a big window. This one only requires the smaller piece. Now make sure that you don't have a lot of fuzz on there. A couple things. If you use a used dryer sheet, even those can kind of scratch it. You have to be really careful what you wipe that with to create. You don't want to create more static. Using an embossing buddy can scratch it, and it also leaves white residue. I use a nice soft microfiber towel to just sort of wipe that, make sure my fingerprints are not on it. All right, now to add that pop-up, we're going to do it on this side instead of this, because trying to, you know, get that just right, we're going to do it here instead. Take your dimensional strips. Now, if you don't have these, that's okay. What you can do is you can actually use the dimensionals, the regular ones, but there can't be any gaps. So use, like, never throw these away. So these are gold. Keep these because your dimensionals all the way around, these are fantastic for shaker cards. Just use the flat edge against your opening, the flat edge here, and just use these all the way around. That's fine. Now, if you want to, you can curve them around. I just trim them and then bring this around. Make sure there's no openings. Come all the way around. I'm staying a touch away from, just a little bit away, because I don't like to see the white inside the card. So putting it just a little bit away helps that. And just put that together. Now, obviously you don't want to take the paper off yet from the top of this sticky yet until we put our sequins on there. And because it says reach for the stars, I wanted to put a few stars in there. We really don't have a lot of stars. If you have a little star punch, that's fantastic. I had to use them from a new die set, which I'm going to show you, that has 1 star in it, so I did that. Now, I like to tack some things down before. So I can actually put this here. I'm going to do reach for the stars and kind of scatter these little stars before I put my sequins in. And you know how much I love these sequins right here. They are so bright and shiny. They are still available, which is great. So we're just going to do these here, like that. So that sticks down. And I like to put just a couple of little sequins that are just going to stay. They're just going to stick there all the time, and the rest will shake around. That way, when the card is like sitting there, there's still some sparkle shining up there, which I like. And these are the bokeh. Look how pretty. They're so sparkly. They're so pretty. Look, you must have them. So let's do a few of these up here. So just by adding a few of these. Now, the type of glue that you use for the sequins when you glue them on, to me, is important because, where did I put that last one? There it is. Because this one, which is our clear glue, and it's the fine tip glue pen, when it dries, it's glossy. So if you slip a little, you're gonna have a glossy blob around it. Don't use this. Use the mono adhesive, the white. I put it in this little bottle here. I get these on Amazon, but a little fine tip, or if you don't have these, squirt a little bit on your silicone mat or something, and then just use a little needle to put them on there. Even your fine tip, I use my poker here and pick up the glue and just stick it on there, because you just don't want to have that shiny mess all around. So when this one dries, it dries nice and clear. Okay, we're ready for the sequins. So now we can peel this off. There we go. And, oh, actually, that was silly. Leave the paper on until you put the sequins down. Duh. Okay, we want to put this back on. Because this is so sticky when you pour your sequins in, well, I just have to be careful. Leave the paper on until you have all your sequins in. There's always this thing of how much is too much, how much is too little. I say a teaspoonful. That probably looks pretty good, especially on this card, which, you know, it needs a little extra something in there. Okay, now I can take this off. Make sure nothing's sticking on there. All right, and then watch your fingerprints on this one. Make sure it's good. And then we line that up and make sure that it's straight. All right, and then put it down. There you go. That's awesome. Now, we put the backing on here, but you see there's a little bit of a, it might need a little support right there. So this is where those black dimensionals come in great, because this is a darker card. So I'm just gonna lift up the corners right here and just pop it on, just to give it a little extra support right on the corners. You're not gonna be able to put this through the regular mail. Even hand cancel, I'd be careful with shaker cards. Maybe, but I would just put it in a little padded envelope and pay $4 or whatever it is, because you want it to get there and be nice, you know? Oh, and you know what? I was gonna stamp a bird up here, but I don't think it needs it. And I don't even think it needs any ribbon or anything. I think it's good the way it is. Now this is the inside. I did the same stamp from that, the Everyday Arches. Embrace the Journey. Down here I can write my note, and I stamp the birds that come in there. And I will put some more bling, some more confetti, kind of glue that around here. So there it is. Now, let me show you some new stuff that's coming. Oh, and this one is using the die, the linked, something linked. What is that die called? Linked Together dies that I used last week. Last week I made a bunch of cards using that die set, so that's where that came from. But, you know, it reminded me of a kite. And I was gonna make a kite and make a tail, but it was too big. So that's what I ended up doing. Okay, let me show you some new stuff. Cute little suitcase boxes. Look how cute. These are gonna be really fun to decorate. We had suitcase boxes before, but they were longer. This is really cute. I did not order everything, but we get a little pre-order. So I got some pretty twine. I love these colors together. There is also a mini corrugated folder. So remember years ago we had the crimper, we put the paper through. I think I still have mine somewhere. I should get that out. Anyway, the crimper, this is a little mini corrugated embossing folder. These are the two that I bought. This one is neutral matte dots, and they're nice and flat, which I like. And then these, it looks like freesia and curry or daffodil and white, and they have like little designs on them. Those are cute. This die is kind of cool. It's called Pattern of Friendship die, and it's all the ticking marks. It's like stitched ticking. That's gonna be kind of cool to play with. Oh, look at these. Like I said, these might be one of my favorites coming. These are called Textured Notes dies. Look at these. Okay, so they're rectangles, but each one has really cool patterns. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, I love all the different patterns. That's gonna be so fun. This one's gonna be great for long sentiments. Love that. I love anything that layers, and then you put a pattern or texture in it, I'm in it. My favorite thing though, my very favorite thing, which I was so excited about, these dies all zipped up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm going to use these next week for the video because I'm so excited. So these zipper dies, another zipper, and this is for like a cardigan or something, and pockets. And look at the little zipper pulls. Oh my gosh. I love them. So I hope they're easy to work with, and I can't wait to come up with some things for that to show you for next week. So that is it. We'll see you next week. See it, learn it, stamp it. Reach for the stars. Do that. Make a shaker card. We'll see you next time. Oh, and be sure to like the video and do all the YouTubey things because that helps everybody see it. Okay, bye.